You have to get leads. If you don't have leads, and I mean everyday leads, I don't mean getting a couple off of Zillow Premier, maybe 10 or 15 a month. I mean getting hundreds of leads per day. That's how I've been so wildly successful, because I get leads consistently daily. And next, you have to turn your leads into clients. You gotta get them across the finish line, right? Because what good is a client if you can't close a deal? It leads to commission checks, and lots of them. I've closed over 900 deals in 5 years. By doing this, I focused on leads, clients, deals, dollars. I have a very unique presentation today. This is something that I can guarantee nobody's ever heard before. I used to work at a call center making $400 a week. And I get my real estate license. I go from making almost nothing, trying to live off my savings, to closing 30 deals in 30 days. I guess you're probably wondering how that's even possible. 30 deals in 30 days, that's a lot of deals. My name's Andy Coleman. I'm a 5-time Icon Award winner because I did something a little bit different than the typical agent. I did all of this with no sphere of influence. I didn't have a network. I was brand new to the state of Florida. So I didn't have anything to fall back on. And as a new agent, I thought it would be very difficult for me to get a buyer or a seller to trust me with the biggest purchasing decision of their life. So I pivoted. In my first year, I ended up closing 50 deals, which honestly, nothing crazy. I only made about $80,000 in commission. But my second and third year, that's where things really started to take off. I ended up closing 250 deals. I made $500,000, $500,000, after being in real estate for 2 years, doing a brand new system. Since then, I've actually closed over 900 deals. Honestly, I haven't confirmed this. I think I've set a couple Guinness Book of World Records. I'm not joking. 250 deals 1 year. It put me as the #2 agent in all of EXP worldwide. And I believe we had 90,000 agents back then. Since then, I've made about $2.5 million in commission. And I'm not saying this to brag. I want to show you what's possible, because rentals are something that everybody ignores. I want to tell you something. This was back in June of 2023. I made $132,000 in 1 month, 30 days. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit and tell you exactly how I did it. There are 7 ways that I've used to make millions of dollars in just a few years. I haven't been doing real estate for 2 decades. I needed a way to accelerate my career without trying to struggle for the first few years like most agents do. Is everybody having a good year? It should be no. Y'all are lying if you're saying yes. No. Maybe not lying. Seriously though, it is a very tough economy right now. It is. I mean, the numbers don't lie. I'm gonna show you the exact numbers I'm talking about in a second. But if you're wondering, like, will this even work for me? Like, Andy, you have 7 ways to make money working with renters. Are any of these even gonna apply to me? You could be a brand new agent. You could be doing this for 20 years. You could be doing great right now. I can guarantee you'll close more deals. Oh, I thought that was it. Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, guys, today I really want to show you there's 7 ways to go about making money with rentals. And I'm getting thousands of leads per month. I'm serious, thousands. And they're free, they're warm, they're not cold leads. I'm going to talk about and show you exactly how I do it step by step. I'm closing minimum 10 deals a month, and that's a bad month. If I close 10 deals, I'm probably pretty upset that month. But I also turn renters into buyers, because that's important. If you're just relying on rental deals, yes, I make about $2,000 per deal, but I close 1 to 3 sales every month. I've never done an open house, never done FSBO cold calls or door knocking. I turn my renters into buyers and landlords into sellers. So if you're wondering why should you focus on rental deals, because most people skip the most important stage of a client's journey. Think about it. Who here, when you moved from your parents' house, doesn't matter when this was, did you buy a house? Yes? Your trust fund baby? That's impressive. Most people rent, right? The majority of people rent. I haven't had to worry about a closing since 2020. I'm doing this right now. Every single month, I have closings. There's 3 pillars to real estate. Think of it as a triangle. At the base, right, you have to get leads. If you don't have leads, and I mean everyday leads, I don't mean getting a couple off of Zillow Premier, maybe 10 or 15 a month. I mean getting hundreds of leads per day. That's how I've been so wildly successful, because I get leads consistently, daily. And next, you have to turn your leads into clients, because what good is getting thousands of leads per month if you can't convince them to work with you? And then even if you can convince a client to work with you, you can keep them loyal, you got to get them across the finish line, right? Because what good is a client if you can't close a deal? It leads to commission checks, and lots of them. I've closed over 900 deals in 5 years. 900. By doing this, I focused on leads, clients, deals, dollars. Because there's 3 stages to a lead. Sellers are for expert agents. As a brand new agent, if you're going to represent a seller and let's say it's a $500,000 house, are they going to put their faith in you that their biggest asset in the world, are they going to put their faith in you to sell that home as a brand new agent with no experience? Probably not. I wouldn't. So I consider sellers expert mode. Buyers, hard mode. Pretty easy when you learn how to work with buyers, obviously. But renters, that's the low-hanging fruit. If you've ever played a video game, it's like playing on easy mode. That's how I've been able to close so many deals over the years, because these rentals, I'm going to talk about it in a second, but it only takes me 2 hours per rental. That's it. That's why I consider them easy. There's almost no problems whatsoever. And this is why, because I have my pick of clients every month. That's how I get 100 leads a day. Think about it. It's 3,000 leads a month because of this right here. In my mind, you have to learn the housing market. If you're going to dedicate your time to a lead generation strategy, because honestly, that's all this is. This is a lead generation strategy. You could do open houses, you could do FSBOs, door knocking, right? Mailers. They're all lead generation strategies. That's the base, that's the first pillar of your real estate business. This is why most people are having rougher years, right? Because of this. We have the lowest pending home sales in the history of real estate. It's even worse than 2008. It is. The numbers don't lie. That means there's a 10-to-1 ratio. If there's only 4 million house sales, if you look it up, there was 45 million renters. So that's 90% of the market that is renting homes right now. Because of this, think about it. How many agents actually work with renters? What does that mean? There's no competition. This has not been oversaturated yet. Why I've been so successful, among a lot of other things, because I don't have competition from anybody else. Nobody's doing this. Because there is a smart way to close deals. Like I said before, I close deals now while building a massive pipeline. Can anybody guess how many people I have in my database after 5 years? 250,000. 250,000 people in my database after 5 years in a brand new state. I didn't know anybody. Because of this, I focus on volume. I'm not joking. I had 2 referrals driving here today. Every day I get referrals. It's constant. So you're probably wondering, how does this work? I have a system. Leads, fast deals, consistency, scaling, and profitable. Because my dad once told me this. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep. That's a big difference. Think about it, right? You spend $10,000 a month in advertising and you make $20,000. You don't make $20,000, you make $10,000. I spend $0 for leads. These are my actual deals. Since 2020, this is everything. This is everything that I've done. I track all of it off a basic system. It's easy. Once I tell you guys this system, you're gonna be like, wow, why haven't I started this sooner? Because I'm gonna teach you the entire thing, start to finish. We're just doing volume. We're getting renters to turn to buyers, landlords to sellers, and there's multiple ways to do this. Because there's 7 ways to make money. I'm gonna break down all 7 of the strategies, and then I'm gonna show you my favorite. I'm gonna actually go step by step on my favorite. These are all 7 right here. This is how I've made millions of dollars in a few years. I have an MLS system, an apartment system, a landlord system. I turn active renters into buyers, close renters into buyers. I turn my buyers into sellers, and I have a team of agents now. That's the 7 ways I've made money in real estate. I'm gonna start with my MLS strategy, and this is the one I'm gonna teach you guys. This is where I'm getting 100 leads a day right now, and that's the one I'm gonna teach you. I just wanna go over them, just so if one or the other resonates with any of you guys, you can go and try to do it after this. The average time frame, if you're doing any of these correct, I would say within 12 hours, you're gonna have leads coming in. Within 2 days, you'll have showing set up. 3 days, offer out. 4 days, deal closed. Yeah, they're smaller deals, but they add up. For my MLS strategy, get permission to advertise in your MLS. You can just call the listing agent and ask for permission. I'll break it all down in a second. But these are the kind of leads that you can get. You can get 10 a day, 100 a day, 1,000 a month, 10,000 a year. And there's multiple ways to do these. You could do it for free. I mean, 100% free. Free warm leads off of Facebook Marketplace. You guys, you don't have to write this down yet. I'll go through the whole strategy in a second, but you're gonna wanna take some notes on this because anybody can do it right now. Anybody can do it for free. My first year of real estate, free. Second year, I made $252,000 for free. Didn't spend $1 on a lead. Second way to do this is called apartment locating. So it's really simple. You're gonna focus on tenants and you're gonna bring them to apartment complexes. Now, what's different than my MLS strategy, instead of advertising other agents' rental listings, you're gonna advertise apartment complexes. If you put these on, let's say, Facebook Marketplace, you can get free leads. You can make a reel. Who has seen reels on Instagram of apartments? I'm sure everybody has just scrolling, right? A lot of these are agents that are doing apartment locating, and they're basically targeting tenants to reach out to them. They have a whole funnel, a leads form. It's incredible once you set this up. I mean, you could have dozens of leads streaming in for free off of Instagram every day. That is more advanced though. Just putting up a picture on Facebook Marketplace, very simple. Like, I mean, it would take you 30 seconds. It's that simple. The real strategy, a little bit more difficult. If anybody decides to do this, think about it. There's 21 million apartment complexes, and some of these will pay you. Not all of them, some of them will. Because if you find a few good ones, some of them will legitimately pay you a month's rent and commission, and you do no paperwork whatsoever. I mean, like, you don't have to do a lease agreement, you don't do a final walkthrough, you don't hold escrow, none of that stuff. All you do is take a tenant to an apartment complex, and they basically do the rest of the work for you. 30 days later, after the tenant moves in, you get paid. I've made $2,000, $3,000 on these apartment complexes, and I'm telling you, it's the easiest money any realtor can make right now. But you can make a little bit more on an MLS strategy because the only downfall for apartment complexes, you also don't get as many buyers. Think about it, right? The type of person that is living in an apartment, and I'm not saying it's bad because apartments are great. They take care of everything for you, but that's the point. That's what everybody wants. They want that quality of life where they don't have to cut the lawn, they don't have to worry about anything. And they typically aren't in a rush to buy homes. But if you get a person renting a single family house, you know, a 4-bedroom with a pool, backyard, fenced in, they want to buy a house. That's their goal. So I've converted a lot more renters into buyers from MLS properties, not apartment complexes. But it is the easiest money that you'll ever make. Seriously, it really is. If you guys really want to make some fast cash, go and YouTube that after this. Landlord strategy. Now, this is interesting because it's a little bit more advanced, but you're gonna get actual rental listings for yourself. And what I said before is true. Yes, you get a full month rent commission, but you also get to put it in your MLS. When you put it in your MLS, what happens? Leads. And, like, you get free leads, free. It syndicates to all the major sites, your Zillows, your Realtor.coms for 100% free. And you have tons of MLS tenant leads just streaming in. And then that's what cycles back into my MLS strategy. It cycles right back in there. Because now you can get the half a month's rent commission, the flat fee, whatever the case may be, but you also get the rental listing itself. And guess what? Landlords turn into sellers. I've gotten a lot of sellers from rental listings because you could do a few different strategies here. Has anybody ever called a for rent by owner? One, two, maybe 4 or 5 people, right? Not many. How many people have called a for sale by owner? Whoa, a lot more hands. A lot more people. A lot more people because nobody does it. So if you call a for sale by owner, how many phone calls do they typically get a day? Hundreds. Hundreds. One property, one owner, hundreds of phone calls from hundreds of agents. For rent by owner, not like that. Expired, canceled rentals, nobody cares. Like we had 5 people say they've done it. If you call a for rent by owner, if you like doing cold calling, me personally, I don't like it. I don't like cold calling. That's why I came up with my MLS system because it's free warm leads, which I'm going to show you exactly how I do that in a second. And my apartment system, they're all free warm leads. I don't have to cold call. But if you like cold calling, I'm telling you right now, you could probably close the most deals and make the most money. It's a little bit more work though, and you do have to get really good with your sales and communication skills. Is anybody familiar with Jordan Belfort? Wolf of Wall Street? You gotta be an incredible communicator. If you wanna get 10, 20 rental listings a month, but if that's you, I'm telling you, think about this. Think about looking up for rent by owners. Think about looking up expired or canceled rental listings on your MLS, on Zillow. You could pay for it on RedX or ShowMojo, and no, I'm not sponsored. You could do this right now. So if you like that, possibly think about changing your strategy. Because if you get one of these rental listings, you can make $3,000, $4,000 for one deal. Seriously, it could really help a lot of you guys out. Now, active renters into buyers. This is basically where I close about 1 buyer per 10 rentals that I do. So if I'm gonna close 20 rentals in a month, I'm typically on average gonna get about 2 buyers from it. And this is right now, I don't have to wait. Because the 5th way to make money, I can actually get closed renters into buyers. And typically, I get about 50% of tenants eventually buy a home in America. If you can capture 30% of them, right, staying top of mind, how about if you close 100 rentals? That's 30 buyers. 200, 60. 300, it's 90 buyers in 1 year. It's $1 million commission, 1 year. We're heading into a buyer's market. Right now, we have 500,000 more sellers than buyers. That's staggering. Still not a buyer's market yet. We're in a neutral, or what I like to call the rentals market. But if you close a lot of these rental deals right now, I'm telling you, you could make money on the rentals, you could build a huge pipeline, and you can get a tremendous amount of sales when the market rebounds. Any single one of you right here, right now, can make $1 million in 1 year, except for you, you've already done it. Any single one of you can do it within the next 2 years with any of these systems I'm talking about right now. Any single one of them. Buyers into sellers. I really haven't converted that many buyers into sellers yet because I've only been doing this 5 years. Does anybody know the average time people stay in a home when they buy it?
10 years?
Who says 7? 7. Yeah, it's 5 to 7. Yeah, it's 5 to 7. That's the average. So I've only been doing it 5 years. I've only gotten a few of my, I did the whole thing, renter, buyer, seller. Not that many, I've maybe gotten 3, to complete the cycle. That's a little bit more longer term, but it does happen. And you make money on it. And again, these leads are free. You're not spending money on these leads. You don't even have to go out and get them. They call you. If you stay top of mind, if you do a 369 system, a weekly email system, a social media comment system, all of your clients, they're gonna remember you. They're gonna know you. And they're gonna reach out to you when they're ready to sell their house. Now, does anybody have a team of agents? Oh, a lot of people have teams of agents. Okay, what do you guys do with your teams? Do you give them leads? You give your team leads. Do they perform well? No. It is difficult. It's difficult. But think about it though. If you're giving your team rental leads, right? Rental leads. I mean, me personally, I get a lot of free leads, but if I do one of these paid systems, I'm paying like 30 cents a lead. Who would like to get a lead for 30 cents? It's pretty crazy. Would you care if your team wasted a 30-cent lead? Not as much, right? Not as much. I mean, it still bothers you, right? Like I've had agents where I've given them hundreds of leads a month. Some of them will close 10 or 15 deals, others 2 or 3. Same leads. So it does matter, but it doesn't sting as much, honestly. So that's how I've really been able to scale out of doing my own production. Because I don't close that many deals anymore. Is that the dream for everybody? Does everybody want to do deals forever? No, I didn't either. Like after closing almost 1,000 deals, you get tired. Honestly, you do. You do. But if you put in the hard work now, I'm telling you, within 2 years, that's all you guys have to do. Close a bunch of rentals now, turn your renters to buyers, buyers to sellers, and then get a team of agents. The first agent I taught to do this, his name is Louis, he's in Miami, and he has 7 agents under him right now. Made $250,000 in his first year doing it. Now he's got other agents doing it for him. Within 1 year, his first year, he was a brand new realtor. 1 year. Anybody can do this. And you could become a team leader, get a little split. You know, the split doesn't matter. Whatever you're comfortable doing. That's the 7 ways I've made millions of dollars with rentals. Now, does anybody want to hear the MLS strategy? I'm going to take you step by step. Yeah? Okay. So it's a very easy process. There's a lot of steps in between, but they're basic. 1 is get leads. 2 is convert leads to clients. 3, clients to close deals. That's really all it is. You don't have to worry about offers because everybody knows how to put an offer in. Now, first step. All right, if you guys want to take some notes or record this right now, this is going to be valuable. Anybody can go and implement this today, immediately. I could do a deal in an hour now per rental deal. Compared to a sale, you know, I mean, you could get lucky, obviously. I've had sales where it's taken me a few hours, yes. But according to the NAR, 1 sale deal takes 40 hours on average. If they get to the closing table, right? I've lost countless buyers. I don't really lose rentals though. And if I do, it doesn't matter. Think about it. If I have 20 rentals and I lose 1, I have 19. This is one of my secrets. It's showings. I'm doing anywhere from 0 to 3 showings. And I'll show you how I do 0 showings. They're seeing the property, not with me. That's how I can do a rental deal in 2 hours. It's very simple. I make about half a month's rent commission. Typically, where I live in South Florida, I make about $1,700 per deal. I charge a transaction fee for $300, which brings my running average up to about $2,000. You could make a little bit less, but I have a solution. If you only make, let's say, $300 a deal. Does anybody live in Orlando or Tampa here? You do? So you guys, how much you make per rental over there? Exactly. You make $300, let's say, right? What if you charge a transaction fee for $300? How much do you make? $600. If you do 10 in a month, how much do you make? $6,000. What's that times 12? $72,000. How about if you get 10 buyers that year? You turn 10 renters into buyers. What, 10,000 commission, give or take, another 100,000. How much is that? $170,000 from a $300 commission check. Think about it. You want to go on your local MLS for this strategy. And you want to take any broker advertise yes property. But if you don't have that, that's okay. Some states actually, you don't even need permission, but make sure you check. Don't get in trouble. If you get permission to advertise a property, if you do it right, you should, if you call, let's say, 100 agents in a week, 95 of them should say yes. So if you're not getting those kind of stats, those numbers, change up your communication skills, okay? Because you should get a very high rate of agents saying yes, because most people, they don't care about rentals. They're doing it for a friend, right? They're doing it to get a buyer later. They don't care about them that much, so they'll let you advertise it and get all those leads, which is amazing. That's how I built this big business, because agents didn't care. So that's the first step, is going in your MLS, finding a good property, because you have to pick a really nice listing. Now look on the screen here. So that first picture right there, does that look like something you would want to live in? Probably, right? The bottom house, I mean, not so much, right? I mean, it's fine, but the amount of leads you're gonna get from that compared to that is crazy. If you put up a 4-bedroom, single family house, 4,000 square feet, redone kitchen, I'm talking you can get 100 leads from one property, compared to maybe this bottom property, I might get 5 or 10 leads. So if you're posting properties and it's not working, think about which properties you're posting, because it matters, and the price point matters too. You want to post a property in an average price point. So what I mean by that is, if you post a property at $5,000, do you think you're going to get leads? Probably not. right? Because the majority of people, they're not looking for $5,000 properties. They're looking for the average or cheaper. So if you post a property for, let's say, $2,500 in Miami that looks like this, I'm not joking. Thousands of leads. You will get thousands. I have one right now. Oh man, I can supply 10 agents with leads for this whole month off of one property right now. It matters. It makes a big difference. Then, when you find the right properties, right, you're going to be doing a lot of these. Like I do about 5 to 8 properties per day on Facebook Marketplace because that's where I post them. I'm posting them right on Facebook Marketplace. Is anybody familiar with Marketplace? Yeah, right? But it's not Facebook ads. So you're not spending money, you're not creating, these intricate ads, and nobody is seeing this. So I know some people have a stigma about, being a renter's agent and stuff. Nobody's gonna see it, don't worry. It's just going on Marketplace. Now, you can do some other strategies. There's syndication strategies that get them on other sites out there. It's a little bit more advanced. I always recommend people start off with Facebook Marketplace first, just to do this. Here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get a lot of leads, a tremendous amount of leads. If you followed my first 4 steps, when you get leads coming in, actually, arguably, I think this is the most important part, getting leads coming in, because I've had so many agents get this part wildly wrong. I mean, just completely screw this part up. You really wanna make sure that you're not scaring them away. To get the majority of the people to let you set them up on the MLS. This is very important. You wanna set them up in your MLS. So it's like a CRM, basically. You're showing them other properties without actually showing them properties. Anytime a new listing hits, they're gonna automatically be sent a brand new property. So that has basically transformed my entire business when I started giving them access to the MLS as opposed to just me trying to show them that first property. Because think about it, if you get 20 leads for one property, how many people could actually live there? One. So what do you do with the other 19 people?
Find them somewhere else.
Exactly. So that's why you want to set them up in the MLS. That's why the ultimate goal here is not about that first property. That's great if you get it rented out, but the ultimate goal is those other 19 people, you want to find them a different place. So you don't know which of the 20 is going to get into that property. And who knows, they're going to probably find more properties they like even better. This is cool. This is the amount of deals I've closed as a solo agent without my team in my first 3 years, I think. 522, just my rentals. This is from my MLS. Anybody can look this up afterwards if you have Beaches or Flex MLS. So I do something called a pre-offer strategy. It's basically where I run a credit background eviction report, rental application, proof of income, and driver's license. Did you see how fast that just rolled off my tongue? I've done it a million times. A million. If you could talk to somebody like that, they're gonna trust you instantly because you're an authority figure. You know what you're talking about. You're a professional. You're gonna guide them along the entire process. That's how I do zero showings. I do a pre-offer strategy and I only show them properties that they've been accepted for. Have you done that yet? I think you've done that?
Yeah, I pre-qualify I won't take anyone out without.
How much time does that save?
The leads are so much better. I convert every single one.
Exactly. That is for experienced agents. If you've never done this before, I don't suggest doing that right away because you'll scare people away. But once you get good, and I don't mean, you don't have to do this for years, close a few of these deals, right? Close 5 or 10 deals, and then you could start doing that. Now, if you don't do that, that's okay. That's fine. You can do what I like to call an aesthetic pre-qualification. So just make sure, so if you're not there yet, make sure that the property is gonna work for them first. You wanna pre-qualify them without actually running an application if you're not there yet, right? If you're not ready to do that yet. Once you do though, you're gonna do the whole rent spree application, whichever one you wanna use, and you're just gonna put in an offer. You're gonna go over the terms, right? Everybody knows this. This stuff's easy. You negotiate the deals, you do the contract to lease, you do the 3 pay stubs, bank statements. I'm sure everybody knows this, right? This is all simple. It's a full package that you're gonna put together for them. And then, once you get under contract, this is a critical step. You have to collect 1 month's rent as a deposit. Please, if you all are gonna do this, don't skip this step. They need skin in the game, the tenant. The tenant needs to have skin in the game. So once you get a lease agreement signed, get 1 month's rent, hold that in escrow within 24 hours. And then you're gonna do your final walkthrough. They're gonna bring last and security. I'll give you one more pro tip here. Put up a magnetized business card on their refrigerator at the final walkthrough. Eileen Goby. That was my parents' realtor when I was 10 years old. How the hell do I still remember that? Because every single day I went to the fridge, her name was right there. Never forget her. Funny enough, my parents didn't use her to sell their house, but that was 20 years later. So that's really the majority of the process, right? And then from there, you're just scaling. I mean, doing this, I'm closing 20, 30 deals a month, right? Because you wanna cycle this as you're doing this. Like you're not just working with one client at a time. How many clients are you working with at once?
What, 15?
That's right, 15. At my peak, I'm working with almost 100 people at once. 100 people at once. You wanna keep this going, okay? Because this is very important. I don't care what you guys do. If you guys don't wanna do a rental strategy, that's fine. Please do one thing though. The riches are in the niches. Seriously, you have to focus on one strategy only. That's it. If it's not any of these, that's okay. But just get amazing at one of them and practice your communication and sales skills. I've had agents that have the exact same information, the same leads, same area. Like I said before, 15 deals a month compared to 2 deals a month because of this right here, because of their communication and sales skills. People don't understand that. Look up Jordan Belfort, his straight line system. He blends both together, communication and sales. Guys, it will change your whole perception on talking to people. Because everybody here is a salesperson. Seriously, that's what real estate is. We're business people, we're salespeople. Working hard and smart, you guys know all that, right? That's how that year, didn't count a couple of them at the end of the year, but that was the 250 deal year, number 3 in the world. And really, I've hit Icon 5 times by doing rentals. Every year for the past 5 years. 5 times Icon Award winner. Because of everything I told you guys today, anybody can do this, any single one of you. If you dedicate yourself to one strategy, hopefully it's this rental system here. Well, actually, you know what? That's competition for me if you're in Florida, so if you don't want to do it, that's okay. I won't be mad. I won't be mad. I've had a lot of agents do this, so if you guys want to check it out, it's on my YouTube channel. So it's on my YouTube channel. If you guys want to hear a cool story, watch Evelyn. She is a rock star. She just sent me a picture today of her 3rd Rolex. She got 3 Rolexes in the past 2 months. She got similar to this one, a Hulk, today. When I met her 4 months ago, she couldn't even pay her rent. She was about to get a job at Whole Foods. Now she's buying Rolexes every week. It's crazy. Louis, he was the one I talked about before. He has a team of agents, made $250,000 in his first year. Anybody could do this, guys. You're missing out.
I know.
There's a lot. I'm telling you, there's these little steps.
Yeah.
I call it a bottleneck system. Literally, I have 100 steps in a bottleneck system. It's a whole diagram. You would absolutely love it. You know, I have the whole YouTube channel, all that stuff. So honestly, check it out.
Yeah.
It's gonna shock. I had no time to go through everything here, obviously, but it would shock you how many little details that if you master them down, even just what you're saying before about having people reach out to you and then you trying to pre-qualify them first, you're scaring away a lot more people.
Well, I'm getting higher price point people.
You will.
People that actually do the pre-qualification, they rent higher and then it's easier.
No, you do that, but you do it at a different step.
Right.
You do it at a different step.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not right away. Because some of these people, if they have a 600 credit score, you'd be surprised. They might have a year's rent up front that they can put down for a house. Totally. And it could be one of the easiest deals you've done. But if you ask them, hey, do you have a 600 credit score? They say no or never answer, you'll lose that person. I have 2 channels. One is about the housing market. Honestly, it's good to learn that stuff because it will help you turn renters into buyers. If you could tell them, oh, there's 4 million sales and blah, 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 all those stats, they're gonna be like, their jaw's gonna hit the floor like, oh, this guy is telling me these things that no other agent's telling me right now. And you'll be able to convince a lot of them to buy a home before you even rent them a property. That's the crazy part. People think you have to wait 1, 2, 3 years to turn a renter to a buyer. It's not true. If you do it correct, you can have, what's it now, October? By the end of November, you can have a buyer under contract, close, commission in your bank account from a rental lead. Okay. From a rental lead. 'Cause yeah, there's gray areas, right? Like, you ever heard, there's a cool story. You know Mark Zuckerberg, the Facebook guy, right? He had a billboard up in LA, and his billboard was breaking all of these laws. He was getting violation and fine after fine after fine after fine. He didn't care, he never took it down. You know why? He was making more money than the fines were costing him. It's called a gray